welcome back to ENICAST. Today we are going to be talking about, drumroll please, scary stories! Yay! Red Room Scary Story.
Oh no.
This story is a story I've heard from a friend of mine.
Nice.
You're 21 years old, and you finally moved into your new apartment. It's a nice apartment that you found on sale for cheap. The location is good and near the station, but there's one thing that seemed a little off. It wasn't on the website, but you noticed that there's a small hole in the wall of your room, leading to the next door neighbors. Curious, you decided to peek into the hole to find something surprising. The whole room was red.
Oh no.
You thought it was a little bit weird, but you shook it off. That night, you looked into the hole to find the room still red. It was close to midnight, and there was no sound coming from the room the whole day, so you became worried.
Oh.
The next day, you again peered into the room to find that the room was still red. Anxious, you decided to go talk to the landlord about the neighbor. When you mentioned the neighbor, the landlord replied, "Oh, you didn't know. The person living next to you has a critical condition." "That is?" you asked. The landlord replied casually, "They have a condition where their eyes are red."
Oh my. I'm that okay. I'm speechless.
I love telling scary stories. It's so much fun.
So did your friend make it up, or did they find it somewhere?
I have no idea. She said she heard it from another friend of hers.
It's like a
sleepover. It's passed on from generation to generation. It's a legend that we must save.
That's terrifying.
Bro, but imagine, you move into your new apartment, the next door neighbor's just stalking you.
Oh my god.
Wait,
is it disease? Is it just that they have a red eye, or is it something with their mental health?
I think it's just red eyes, but still.
Wait, but that's more creepier. Because if it was a disease, then it makes sense, related to trying to look into people's rooms. But
what's your disease? I look into people's rooms. It's a critical condition.
But if it's just a red eye, then that's creepy. Wait, but is their eye do they not have a what's it called, an iris?
Their full iris, isn't it?
Or the
wait, that's scary. Yeah. Wait,
imagine talking to that person face to face.
Wait, what?
Imagine talking to that person face to face. They're
oh. Hi. Nice. Hi, you got there. Loving that red color suits you really nicely.
Okay. So. Okay, that was terrifying. But
I would move out. I would move out. Get out.
Just I'm gonna move out.
Yeah.
Okay, so my story.
Get out of there.
My story is called Ghost Bro. Ghost Bro, yo.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ghost Bro Mario.
Okay. Oh my god, half of this podcast is just us laughing.
So true.
Us every day. Okay, so here it goes. My house was built in 1904. It is a single-family home, wood frame setting on a concrete block foundation. I have been living here for about 12 years. Of all the weird things that my siblings and me have seen or heard in this house, this event is my favorite.
Wait. Weird things happen in your house. Move out of there.
Okay. About 10 years ago, my brother and his best friends had started a garage band playing mostly Spanish rock. Alternative music, but in Spanish. His friends could only get together on Sunday afternoons. They would practice into the early evening, and they would usually call it quits by 8 p.m. This was the time I usually showed up and went to bed, because I worked the graveyard shift.
Graveyard shift? Uh-oh.
Yes. Okay. This happened in late fall, so the days are getting shorter, and they had just finished a long session when the decision to head to someone else's house came about. My brother handed his car keys to his buddy so they could load up the equipment. Everyone had filled out of the basement, but the tricky part was that they needed to walk out all the way to the back of the basement, up the back stairs, through the kitchen doorway, down the hall into the living room, and into the front porch. Everyone was outside sitting in my brother's truck waiting for him. My brother was walking out the back stairs when he remembered that he had left his pancakes in a to-go container sitting on
Why
the
did you
kitchen
leave your pancakes?
in the basement. He made the decision to go back. Now the basement is not clean. With full sight lines, there had been stuff made. I don't know what that says. Okay. And the boiler and the main heating unit are right smack in the middle. So after my brother walks back, he is about to retrieve his food container when out of the corner of his eye he sees it.
Oh no, what did he see?
It is a shadowy figure right at his his vision. This feeling of dread and uneasiness washed over my brother. We had been taught that if you are in the presence of a spirit or ghost and you felt a bad vibe, to say a quick prayer or cuss at it. My brother chose the latter. He basically cussed at it. My brother started to walk to the back of the basement and briskly up the stairs, closing doors and turning off lights as he was walking out. The last light switch is on the opposite side of the front door. Luckily, the door was open, and the light from the street lamp was flooding the living room with this amber light. My brother said that he felt something at his back, but at no point did he turn around. As he flicked the last switch in the living room, it went dark, as the rest of the house did. As he stepped out and he pulled on the door, closing it behind him. Still holding his food container in one hand, he jogged down the few porch steps.
Leave your pancakes and get out of there!
He walked towards the front gate. Our houses reside far from the main street, essentially having a large front yard but no rear garage. As he closed the gap between himself and his friend-laden truck, he kind of smiled and thought things over his head, mad at himself for spooking out when there was no reason. He climbed into the driver's side of the truck, putting on his seatbelt and getting ready to pull out of the parking spot directly in front of the house, when one of his friends asked, "Hey, wait, what about your brother? Isn't he coming with us?" My brother answered, "What do you mean? He went to work early tonight. He's already gone. Do you see his car anywhere?" The next question they asked, "So then who was walking behind you when you were leaving the house?" The end.
Oh my god! That shit.
I'm speechless. Like, dude, leave your pancakes. Like,
Leave your pancakes! Get out of there! Go do your garage band stuff! And why did you cuss at the... No, why did you swear towards the ghost? Man, you made him angry! You made the ghost angry!
And now for the biggest horror story of all. Thank you guys for listening to today's ENICAST. Thank you. See you next week. Yes. Bye.